What was that dance from Kola? That was the only funny part I found there. Like it was doing what was it doing with his shoulders? So for me, for the presentation for tonight's the wager presentation, I don't know if any of you guys watched it. The wager presentation, Koyi and Imisi were the highlights for me. Koyi's presentation when he, did the Echo festival, the masquerade thing, the festival thing, reminded me of Gangs of Lagos. I don't know if you guys have watched Gangs of Lagos, one movie that I thoroughly enjoyed, and he just depicted that part. That's one movie I remember them representing that side of Lagos Island. So those two people with the highlights. Then for Imisi, it was literally like she embodied her role. She was in it. It was not just telling a story from the paper that Big Brother gave them or just talking about what it is that Big Brother presented to them. It was her being a part of it. She embodied it very, very well. Even Kola did very well. But I'm just saying, like, for me, the top two people for that I saw that okay, really, really impressed me were Koyi and Imisi. They were the stars of the show tonight. And I'm very sure that if Big Brother was there to judge them, he would have, commended them and stuff. But Big Brother has not been talking to the housemates for some time now. So we are the ones to do the judgment for the wager presentation. So for the wager presentation, we had the housemates representing different cultures, telling stories from different tribes, right? And then Imisi was sorry if I say Imisi, Faith was the one that was the anchor for tonight. So welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, please do well to like, share, subscribe, and all the good stuff. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you can get notified each time I post a brand new video. Sound check, sound check. I believe the sound is okay. But if it's not, just let me know if the sound is very good. So, like I said, they were to prepare a showcase of Nigeria's cultural heritage and different teams. They were put in teams of like two each, and each of them had to represent different tribes. So, Faith was the one that anchored the show. Was the one that introduced each tribe or each state as they came on board. He also did very well, to be honest. It was like the perfect person for that particular job that was given to him, right?
We're going to be exploring destinations and locations from over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria.
Yeah. So the first team that came on board were was Kola's team. So Kola and Imisi, they were representing Oyo State. Guys, let me know if can you guys hear me? Because at this point I feels like I'm not communicating like that. Just let me know if you can hear me. If you're currently on the live stream. So Emisi and Kola they represented Oyo State and they did a lot of chanting. Okay, okay, I'm seeing a comment, meaning that you guys can hear me properly. Timazar, yeah, Faye did very well anchoring the show. He was the perfect person. Munira, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Me no be like say I dey follow myself talk, and I'll just be there talking, talking, cha cha cha, and I'll just be the only one talking to myself. So I was supposed to make this video earlier on, but I did not have the energy at all. So this is like a midnight live stream. Okay, okay. Thanks, guys. So Emisi and Kola, they were the ones that they were representing Oyo State, and they did a lot of chanting. They told their story in a very interesting way, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just going to show you guys a small part of it.
Nigeria. Oyo Empire was a descendant of from the 14th century by the first of Oromio, who started the Oyo Empire.
So yeah, and then there was a lot of dancing, chanting, and then all of these things they did it while they were telling their story. So if I were to pick between their team and Coin's team, the one that did the best, I would say that this was the best presentation, and they started with the best. So moving on to the next team, we had the Cross River States representatives. So we had Faith, and sorry, not Faith, Joanna and Mensan, they represented Cross River State. What I enjoyed most about their own is their dance performance. Like, this is one dance that I really like, their combi dance. So for me, that was the only thing that I would say, okay, I really, really, really enjoyed. Every other thing was just them telling their story. Big Brother gave them pamphlets, which is one thing, which is what I didn't really enjoy too much about the tonight's wager. It was basically like some of them were just reading from the scripts that people that gave them, or they were just saying what they got from the script. There was no creativity to it per se. So for this team, what I enjoyed was their dance performance. Then for Telma and K-Bobo, they put a very little twist to it. They sat on the floor to tell their story, right? And I think that's what I can say. That's what I can point out from their own. They just introduced themselves in Yoruba. They're representing Osun State. So Thelma is not from Osun, but she joined K-Bobo to represent Osun
Orílẹ̀-èdè
State.
Áfíríkà, lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti nílùú Èkó gangan tá a wà. Ní alẹ́ àwọn máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa. Orúkọ mi ni Thelma Lawson.
Yeah, so they sat on the floor to tell their story. Munirat, yeah, exactly. Sultana and Isabella, they started well. So they started well by like the whole story thing. So the way they did it was in form of like Isabella being Sultana's daughter coming back from school. She just told her that she learned something in school, and then they now started telling the story. But from that point, from just after the beginning points that they tried to pass across, every other thing was just very dull. They were just reading out from the paper. And I was just like, I feel like if this wager was given to some previous sets, they would have done way better than this. They would have been more creative. But these housemates, they spend a lot of time doing so many other things apart from preparing for their wager. So when it's last minute things, creativity will not come like that. So I feel like if it was even last set safe, they would have been more creative about the way they told their stories, such that would be interesting. They can even gather you know, like there was one set. I don't know if it was Baby Titans or so. They can even gather like they're telling like bedtime stories. Like somebody comes in the middle, the place is like dark, and then you find, let's say, a set. They come in, they tell their stories. Like, do you know that this was this? You know that this was that, this is how, or you're this, and to be like they're telling the other housemates a story. And then when you come, maybe you act out some things. You just tell a story, tell it like you're telling like an interesting story, not just come out and read. If not for the outfits that people that gave them, some of them, the performance would have just been just there. So there are different ways that they would have told the stories to make it more interesting. For me, I will not really, just some of them that did well. The rest was just like there. If I was the brother doing the judgment, I would say, you people did not do well because you people did not put in your all into it, right? So that's my own personal judgment for the wager presentation. But let me just continue so that you guys know how it went for the rest of the housemates. So, like I said, for them, they sat down, they spoke about Osun State. Most of the things they said, you can literally read it online. Just browse about Osun State and you find out about their heritage, their food, and everything that has to do with their state. For Bright and Midday, the only thing I enjoyed was the initial chants that they did when they came on stage. They're representing Imo State. So, Mide came on board. She hailed him as the Odogu that he is. He also did his own hailing, and then the whole Ndibo Kwenu. Ndibo Kwenu, that was all. That was the only thing I enjoyed. Every other thing was just like, it was just there. Um, Bright doesn't know how to speak Igbo so much, so you could tell from when he was talking that okay, this is something that he doesn't like speak on a normal day. But I just liked the beginning parts of their stuff.
Agune Chamber 1. Imaka. One Oma. Akugo. Hey. Omalicha. Imaka. Kai. Cha 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 cha. Anyone Renu? Hey. Renu. Hey. Where's Renu?
Indibo Kwenu. Kwezwenu. I feel like for this the Igbo speaking states, Denari and Doris, they would have done a perfect job. I think that they would have done way better, right, in representing Imo State or whatever Igbo speaking state they decided to represent, but they're not in the house again. So yeah, We just had one representative from the east, which they spoke generally about Igbo, and then they now focused on Imo State. Chimazu, I rep Imo State. Yeah. Well done, well done. Kwenu, Ndibo, Kwenu. And for Dami, oh, first for Dami. So I was talking about the housemates. Faith, Imisi, Kola, Koyin, they did extremely well. Yes, you see that team, the first team, that's Imisi and Kola's team, and then the last team, Koyin and Dede's team, they did very well. And then Faith did well in putting everything together. That's what even made this wager something. If you remove those two people, those two groups, this would have been a huge flop. So for Zita and what's his name? Ruboy, they also, what I liked about their own performance was just the infusion of Yoruba in between. So Zita was just bringing in like Yoruba English. She was speaking the language in between, which made it a little bit fun. And then I really liked Ruboy's outfits. I liked their outfits. They were representing Ogun State. That's for the two of them.
We cannot talk about the ancestral story without mentioning the significant migration, which was led by Ogborogon. This led to the rise of the title, Awujale, who is the pioneering ruler of the Ijebu kingdom.
Then these people were funny. I would just say that they were funny. Like Jason J and Couture, the way they came out, they looked like twins that were just trying. I don't even know. They were just funny. So they represented Kogi State, the Gala tribe, right? Who won? They did not. They didn't tell us who won. People that is not talking to the housemates currently. He's basically, he handed over his work to Zita this week. That's another reason why I feel like Zita tried, because she was performing the work of Big Brother this week, and she still had time to like, practice, and she did pretty good. Chloe was good. Yeah, I agree with you, Anna. So for them, they were just funny to me. They sang and everything and they talked, but nothing really stood out in their own presentation, in my opinion.
Ọjọ́ máa ṣe oríke, ẹ̀nà ṣe wẹjọ́, ọjọ́ máa ṣe oríke, ìṣẹ̀ṣe wẹjọ́, ọjọ́ nùgà ṣe wẹ̀.
Then this was where Sultana and Isabella came out to tell their story. Like I said, it was just the beginning part. The way the story started was something in a bit interesting, because they were telling it like they were about to tell a story, but the story had no flair, no energy, nothing. So the thing just went downhill from the beginning point after she said. So Isabella came out from school and said what she said, and it just went down from that point onwards. If they had more energy, more flair to it, more things to say, then I would have said that they stood out. But it was just a concept that was not well carried out. Well, yeah, well, let me just put it that way. It was just a concept that was not well carried out.
Fine, I learned something today about Adamawa State. Oh, tell me what you learned.
Yeah. Then for that's we now had Koyi's team. I really, really liked Dede's outfit. Dede was looking like all those people that come for Calabar Carnival. That's what her outfit was giving. But then they were talking about the festival, right? In For Lagos Island. But she was looking like those, Calabar Carnival people. She was looking so cute. The outfit was giving what it was supposed to give, and then she said so much, and then she didn't have to read from a paper, which I found really nice. And for Coin's own, he went in to change and then came out as like, one of the masquerades. Somebody literally said that Coin has been a masquerade before in his former life, right?
There are things that cannot happen during these festival times. Wearing slippers, motorcycles, bicycles, they are seen to affect the intuitions of the spirit.
Mm. Gangs of Lagos, Gangs of Lagos. I reviewed Gangs of Lagos on this channel. If you search my channel, Gangs of Lagos Anita, you see the review that I did. I really, really liked that movie. It's one of the few movies that I've reviewed on this channel. So when I saw this part, I just remembered Gangs of Lagos. So I was like, oh, okay, nice. And I'm very sure that people that are from Lagos Island or people that know this part of the tribe or know this will be very will feel very cool or will have some form of joy seeing Koyin do his presentation. Right. So I liked that part. If it was Big Brother, if I was Big Brother, Munira said if I was Big Brother, I'll just say Missy Color, the Koyin, Dede, and Faith won the wager, and the rest of the house lost the wager. Thank you very much. I would have done that too. Let them be in charge of all the food for next week. So because they're the ones that did the most. Maybe I would have added Zita just because she had a lot of work to do this week. Then I would have probably added her for that, right? No, did well in that masquerade. Say, going don't do going if Phoebe say you don't do masquerade work before. Maybe you don't be masquerade before, we don't know. Because the way he jumped, everything, you could tell that he really knew what he was trying to represent. He embodied it, just the way I said NBC embodied her past well, he embodied that masquerade part. So that just crowned the entire thing, and that was the last performance. So it just sealed everything. Then at this point, they now came on and they were singing this song, Where all we have will defend our land. We believe in. So this is how they ended it. Say no to tribalism, unity and peace. So this was also a good part of their wager presentation. Like this part of it, they held the Nigerian flag and just promoting unity and peace and everything. So they ended it well. So we had Faith that introduced them in a very good way and then ended it well. Just like I said, he was the perfect anchor for it because he brought everything together in his own way. I saw when he was writing out this stuff. So kudos to him for that. I'm very sure if the organization wasn't there, it would have been more chaotic and it would have had like a more terrible outcome. But they put everything together. I said it was low-key cringe. Oh, really? I don't know. I think maybe it's because I was focusing on the song. I really liked the song and I liked the write-up and everything. I liked it actually. I personally liked it. All right. So I just said let me just give you guys like updates on or let me just tell you guys how the wager presentation went because we always talk about wager presentations on Fridays. Even though like if I would have made this video earlier on, but I was just like my energy was very, very, very low, very, very low. But thank God I was able to like ginger and all of that. Yeah. So that's how their wager presentation went. If it were to be you, would you give them the win? Would you? Because people that said we're the ones that will judge, although they've not put up anything for us to vote or anything. But would you give them the win or you'd did they lose or win to you? Or how would you judge them basically? So that's basically it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you're currently here on the live stream. If you're not and you're watching later, please give it a thumbs up when you get to this point of the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Bye. Love you. Kisses.